Hey, and welcome back to Kallerhult Creations and another sketchbook flip through. So it's been a while since I filmed a sketchbook flip through the last time, and actually this is not a very recent one. This was started the 29th of March 2021 and I finished it the 21st of June 2021. I'm gonna add the names of the sticker designers here. This one is also from Lee Elixon. So, my goal for this sketchbook was to draw some characters, scenes and backgrounds, explore different mediums and have fun. And I accomplished all of them. So the first of... this was something I came back to because, you know, the first page is always a bit weird. So just leave it and come back to it. I was sitting in the car outside of my son's karate class and I just drew what I saw, which was the interior of my car. And I was watching Over the Garden Wall, I think it's called. I really like that show, animated show. So this is just some drawings and doodles from that. This was the next proper spread, I think. Not spread, but the entry. And then I came back and just used this dead space for preliminary sketches for another project. But yeah, this was like, yay, new sketchbook. And a daffodil. And these are more just random notes and sketches. I think this is nice in a sketchbook. I tend to use my sketchbooks more if I put everything in them and not just like rendered masterful art pieces, but here we have notes and here we have other kind of notes, and here I just put down some liquid watercolor and closed the book up and then scribbled around. So actually, as you might remember, this was part of starting 3 sketchbooks at once. And one of the things I did was to make these color blobs. This was for the illustrating picture book course I took during this time. And this was my character Finn. I also wrote down boots and squirrels because I needed to like practice drawing those things a bit more. I like these kind of studies. I want to have like movement, but just to, you know, show the movement but not too much detail, so I just use different colors, like the background, how to build depth in a picture. And here we have some small sketches of the interior scene and my little color study of what pens I will be using. So I used Pro markers to colorize this sketch, and this is the final result. And I think I said this like a million times, but I really want to dive into this story more because I was so invested in creating this little universe, but I don't really have a story to go with it. I kind of have a story, which you will see later on in the book here in my sketchbook. But yeah, maybe I will continue on with Finn, the boy from the forest. Here are some notes from a book I was reading, and here are some small thumbnail pictures of other things I would include in my final project. Some sketches for, or illustrations for a logotype I was gonna create. And this was April Art Challenge by Bun. So this was the prompt list, and I just did some doodles and I was like, maybe I will expand on this and do more. I didn't. I found my kids' pens and I just went to town, just doodled a bunch. This was from at least 2 different trips to this specific place. So it's an old sewing mill and we went there and just hung out. It's a really nice place. And then I did some more doodles. I want to try different styles, like basically I want to break free from all of the super detailed photorealistic stuff. I love creating photorealistic stuff because then you know when you're done. It's like when it looks like a copy of a photo, then you're done. But I also want to create more illustrative pieces that have more personality and interpretation and stuff. So I just drew a bunch of these and then I adapted into birds. And then as a contrast, we have this page, or this spread, with like super duper detailed owls. And I used my, what it's called, Blackwing? Yes, my Blackwing pen for this. And this is a little color study. I had a commission where I was gonna draw a pet rat, and I just tried out different pens and see, or pencils, colored pencils, to see what colors I was gonna be using. Moving on, a little spread with doodles that I want to turn into animation. So this car I did as an animation. I think I did the Flippy book thing. Haven't used them that much, but I kind of want to do more of this. So I basically did a, what's it called? I basically did a frame by frame animation in Procreate and just mashed them together as a GIF. Here is another exercise for that course I was taking. So this is Finn, and I want to see how I wanted to colorize him. So I copied these three and just printed them out and used different pro markers to try them out. And here we have different expressions and some notes about what I think about his looks, basically. And more movement. So he was running. And this was my little exploration about how to draw boots. Once again, I used my kids' pens and just made these loose landscapes. So I really enjoyed making these. And it's, you know, no focus on details, basically just color blobs and suggestion of what it is you're actually seeing. This was a little sketch for draw this in your style, which I didn't complete, but it's a girl and like fishes were swimming through her body somehow. And this is the tree that's outside of our kitchen window, and I used this pencil which has like a different colored lead, so when you're drawing it changes color. So I used that one to just color it in. I really like this spread. So this is my son's bedroom. And I was sitting like next to him in bed when he was trying to sleep, and I drew his room. I want to do more of these. I think it's a nice little time capsule to just look back on, like, okay, so this was Lina's room. I wanted to create a zine from, based of, like, I wanted to create paintings from photos or experience from my trip to the Outer Hebrides. So I went through some of my photos and did some thumbnails, like what I want to do. So this is something I want to come back to, but this was like preliminary sketches and just some research. Another one of those loose, not landscape painting, because it's like a forest, but you know what I mean. This is another tree from our garden. This is Lina sitting next to me and drawing, and this is our Fendi, who is just taking a nap. More study stuff. And this was when I was sitting outside. It was a sunny day and I had my lunch break, so I just sat outside of my job and drew some things I saw, like the architectural stuff and a mailbox, and it was a huge cat on the wall as a, like, outside of a pet shop. And then I filled in blank space with that pen. Then I went on to draw a bunch of sheep. I was creating some logotypes, and sheep were the main feature, so I wanted to familiarize myself with how to draw sheep, what were their, like, core features. You've got this, ha 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 ha. I really like the outcome when you're drawing with this color changing pencil. It looks so cool. Then I was doing, let me see if can I find it? Can I find it really quickly? It was one of those wildlife drawing live stream. So I made this, and then I made this one in 3 minutes. More fauna. No, I'm stupid. More floral illustrations for the logotype I was talking about. More floral illustration. Then I did an artist study for Barbucci. Is that how you pronounce it? And some more sketches for the course. This was like movement and how to illustrate action. And I think I was starting to contemplate like what the book cover would look like, so I made some small thumbnails, and I also started researching like how you draw squirrels. And I was gonna draw an external scene, so I wanted to dive down a bit more on how to draw different trees, and I used the Lorenzo Volume 1, studied for like how they suggest you draw trees. And this is the color study, so didn't make it as intricate as the previous one, but this is the final result. So this was also like a little study on wooden buildings to draw the tree house. And some skulls. I don't remember if I was just drawing skulls for fun or if this was for an illustration for the bunny book I'm illustrating. I also went art supply shopping and I tried out the different markers I bought. A kookaburra, my penguin mug, and here are some more squirrels. And more squirrels, and squirrels in action, like they're running, they're a study of their gait. And even more squirrels. And I think when I was drawing this one, I kinda got a little glimpse of an idea of what the book could be about. Like Finn, who finds this little squirrel baby and he raises it up. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Perhaps one day. So this is like more sketches for the cover. Finn, the boy from the forest, and he's walking and he has his little squirrel friend. Here I just used the art supply I bought at the shop that I swatched earlier. So I just drew some random things. These are kind of fun. There's our blind contour drawings, I think they're called. So I was looking at the reference photo, but I wasn't looking at the page where I was drawing, and therefore everything looks a bit wonky, but I think it's kind of cool. So these are sketches for a logotype, and this was when I was creating the What's in My Pencil Case video. I just swatched the stuff, and this is a horse based off a photo that my son sent me. He just came across a photo of a horse and he was like, "Mom, I want you to draw this in your book." So I drew it in my book. And this is more concept sketches for the logotype, a flower, and a little to-do list, because why not? And these are some trees that I drew when we were out and about. And I unboxed my jelly gouache and just swatched the paints, basically. 2 little sketches of my Australian Shepherd Fendi, and 2 sketches of Link. And then I just took some notes for Affinity Designer, the program, like shortcuts and stuff. And that's it. I just pasted in some stuff that I received like in the mail and things. So this sketchbook is from Flying Tiger. The benefits of it is that it has a really nice size. I think it's like 19 centimeters or something. I've used it before and I have several more of this particular sketchbook. It has white paper and not off-white, not like yellowish, and it's very cheap. The downside is that it has such a shitty binding. I mean, if you don't tape down some of the pages, they will start to fall out. And the paper is a little bit too thin, but it's still one of those things where like it's not that precious, so you don't feel like you're ruining your super expensive sketchbook. It's just, you know, just use it. Why not? So I think it's a benefit of using cheap sketchbooks, because then you don't feel as precious about them, and you can, you know, draw something really nice on one side and you can draw utter shit on the other side. It doesn't matter. It's just a sketchbook. Don't be afraid to use your sketchbooks. Okay? So I hope you have enjoyed this little video, and I hope you feel inspired to create more awesome art and shitty art, and just, you know, use your sketchbook, okay? Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day. Hej då!